I just made spiral pasta with pesto sauce all over the pasta. What was it missing? You know, ingredients like vegetables or what goes in pesto? I don't know. So, what is the threatening that you are still watching me on YouTube? I'm about to disclose my lover that I don't have a life this way. Somebody died homeless and made me homeless to himself. And that left an enormous hole in the leverage, which it looked like that at the time, but there's nothing I can do about it because your campaign to myself is that you don't have a problem and I have to pay for all the problems with my own need for myself. What's wrong with it is I don't actually form you in lives. I alive. I find you in alive. You are illegally alive in illegal alive genitals. And I cannot really say that you don't have a problem with myself aliving you in illegal genitals, specifically the illegal genital penis. I alive the penis, but it is an illegal genital. That means you can't say over your penis that I don't see you having problems talking over your penis. And that's like a motion, like let's say God forming like that the whole body is formed. It has the penis. You have the head, nose, eyes, mouth, arms and legs, and penis all alive all at once. If you have all of your faculties. And then you want me to say with myself, like I'm a hostage, that you're going to talk over your penis about everything that makes you mentally unstable. And that means you want me to be some kind of security on you having a penis. But when you talk over your penis, you're not talking to the creation of your penis. You are not alone. You are illegally alive in public. That means half the people have a penis, just like you. And you have been checking my address for 45 years of alive, moving around what I need for myself. And I am still just myself. There is just one Godhead, myself. But if I don't have, let's say, Mom asks me, what kind of cereal do you want? And if I tell her, I like to eat granola. If she comes back from the store and says, they didn't have granola today, they have something else, she got me, like what? Should we say oatmeal? Count Chocula, that's the cereal on my mind right now. But they're not really exactly selling that Maybe there is, yeah, because of the internet, you can get Count Chocula. But like, what I'm saying is, if you say no to the whole box of cereal that you ask me, what kind of cereal do I want? Yeah. So let's say, yes, I want Count Chocula cereal, and you bring that to me and I eat it. Great. But you actually ask me, what do I want? That means I didn't get anything until you ask me what I want and I tell you it's Count Chocula. But if I tell you I want granola or change it to something else, how about Honey Bunches of Oats, okay? If I tell you I want Honey Bunches of Oats cereal and you come back and say, they have Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds here. So then I have to eat the whole box of cereal because I'm hungry. But it isn't exactly what I asked for, but maybe it's better because it has almonds in there. How do you figure? How do you want me to die? You thief, deceased, with every little thing about myself, as if, what if I said, no, I don't want the almonds, give me the Honey Bunches of Oats with frosted Honey Bunches of Oats, give me that. Are you going to go back to the store, even though it's just one small change? No to the almonds, yes to the frosted Honey Bunches of Oats. Would you go back to the store and say, here, I need to exchange this for frosted Honey Bunches of Oats? No, you won't do that for me. Well, I don't have it paid for. That you use other people's money to buy my food and pay my rent, just so that you don't have a problem with your penis, is lives with other people who have a penis. You alive that way. And you have a hostage me. Every bite of food I take in my life, every minute I'm asleep. You're watching me sleep and you're not allowed near me because I sleep. I can't watch you when I'm asleep is what you need to know. But you don't know that. Because there are so many of you who argue that you don't have a problem with somebody else, no matter who they are, because you know where I live or stay. When I was homeless, you talked me right out of the parks. You will not leave me alone because I don't want to talk over that. I acknowledge I am homeless. You want me out of the homeless parks just because I'm not going to jail for you. And that would be a point. That would be a point. Are you chasing me out of a homeless condition from one park to walking distance away to someplace else? Away from you, for example, another park. I'm not going to jail for you for that reason, no matter what. That's you needing to go to jail. And you want me to run away from you? I don't have a car. I'm not going to jail for you because you want me to walk away from you as fast as if I was speeding in a car at 65 miles an hour or top speed. Somewhere away from you. Move it. That is some of the money I am describing that deceased myself out of formed by Jesus. And now I'm saying Joel Cohen, dong genital deceased the wrong way. JOEL space COHEN. Dung, genital, deceased the wrong way. That's who's forming you under the umbrella of Jesus. I don't have leverage to alive anymore, but alive is, you could say, closing down at this time, making a lot of videos, and I am describing the end of times. Yes, but you still charge me for food. You charge me for bottled water that is itself. Because what's wrong with you charging me for food? Bottled water. You don't have water correctly out of the building taps. Charging me for food when I'm disclosing leverage that I am deceased, out of formed already, even though you are still active in public in pursuit of that. You don't have a problem with your population of strangers, half of them with a penis. You don't know what to do, but you don't admit you don't know what to do and go to jail. You check my address and you interrupt every second of my day and night. My God doesn't need help creating myself. And you are making it so that I have to go looking for my material life because you stole it away from that it was meant for me. Just because you have some kind of problem with someone, with you. And I sort of agree that you don't know how to handle a problem. But you have illegal genitals that are due outside homeless with no keys. And if you have a key and you have a penis, that is, you don't use the key because you have a penis. I don't have a key, I have a penis is what you're supposed to say. A penis doesn't have a key. The key's right there in the penis. And you talk over that problem and you're angry with somebody else who has a penis, and then you want me to move my bag around every little angry problem you have. And that's because you have a penis. God makes problems about your penis. You're not supposed to rape me with your penis because you don't have a problem with somebody else who has a penis. That will not make the other person with the penis die. You can't rape me and then other people with the penis will leave you alone. You don't have an alibi. You are alive with other people who are alive with a penis. The many people who have a penis. Each person with a penis who is alive with you. So when I say you don't have a problem, what I mean is you don't want the problems that you are to yourself. And you take me as a hostage, and I don't have interest in your problems. I'm not a baby with a penis and no teeth. That baby can only last until it's walking, and then it can walk away from you and your hostage of itself, if it does. So how long can somebody be hostage by somebody else with a penis? If you're a baby and you have a penis and you're flat on your back with no teeth, you can be hostage until you're, let's say, 4 years old and you get on a school bus and go to kindergarten, and you can never return to where you are picked up by the school bus. Your 4-year-old grew up from baby flat on its back with no teeth and a penis. It didn't like its driver that had a penis, who drove it around in a car for 4 years until it got big. And then when it was 4 years old, it got on a school bus and went to kindergarten and never returned to where it came from, where it had grown for 4 years. That's how a baby with a penis can in 4 years get away from somebody who has a penis who's like a dad. Yeah, but what about if you have a penis and you're in public and you're around public penises? Like, you could be at a stadium for a football game and there could be 40,000 fans there watching the football game, and half of them have a penis. 20,000 hoop penises at a football game. Are you angry and still checking my address to make sure everybody's seated at the football game and all the people with the penis don't fight about how uncomfortable you are seated in a chair for too long? You sit on your testicles and you're illegal. You're illegally checking my address because you're sitting on your testicles and you're not comfortable. You're mentally illegal sitting on your testicles. I point to my own head because I love your testicles, but I don't have any.